It's better, isn't it? Yeah, just one button. Greetings to you and welcome. Welcome to today's program, Dr. Love Prasad Uncensored. I am your precious gift. And this is Uncensored Guyana. When you talk about uncensored, it means that I decide what I say. YouTube, of course, can censor my content. And those of you who are watching from your whatever means you have tuned in, you can censor what you want to listen to. You can say in your mind, why is it that Dr. Prasad has to say this or say that? Why can't he say this and why can't he say that? Here is why. Because I am not you. I am not you. I am not in your head. I am not what creates your thoughts. So I don't know what to say to suit you. I can only say what suits my narrative. I can only talk about what I need to talk about based on how Dr. Prasad talks about stuff. I'm saying the stuff I say because of I'm being myself. So if some of you find that some of the things, my style of presenting or my style of articulating and stuff like that, please understand. That song that the baby Skello made that was disrespectful to our beloved Mother Lakshmi, that song was listened to by hundreds of thousands of Guyanese. The songs that Lola Doll, that Lola Doll lady, that she makes or she sings, those songs are clicked on by thousands of Guyanese women and men and teenagers. Have you heard how nasty those songs are? Have you heard how derogatory, how insulting, how misrepresenting and shameful the songs of baby Lola Doll sings? Have you heard that? It's worse than some Jamaican songs. But a lot of you still listen to it. Have you heard the songs of the Vibes Cartel guy? Or a lot of these Guyanese artists? Have you listened to their songs? They're songs that are played on your children's phone. Your 6-year-old, your 7-year-old, your 10-year-old, kids that we consider innocent and pure. Have you heard the songs they're listening to? I am a saint. I am a saint when it comes to the way I present my statements compared to the group of people that your kids are listening to. I'm a saint. You might as well have them listen to me because I have a character and a personality to back up what I'm saying. Those others have nothing. Nothing. But yet they have a large following. Does it mean that the generation that exists today are losing its morals? Instead of it becomes higher, it becomes lower? Is that our young people are going closer and closer to the ground, to the ghetto, instead of aiming for the stars? What happened to that? What happened to aim for the stars? What happened to that time? What happened to idolize people with character, personality, intelligence, beauty? What happened to that? Now look at who you're idolizing. Look at the people you are idolizing. Your kids are idolizing. Scums, nasty. Their bodies are covered with tattoo, covered with piercing, nasty, horribly looking. They sound like a disease. That's what your kids are looking up to. I am your gift. You should have your kids look up to me. What? I'm not sexy enough? I'm not modern enough? What? So I get your points. I understand your criticism, but think for a moment. I can't always speak the tone to suit one particular individual. Pay attention to the message. Trust the messenger. Believe the message, not how it is delivered. Those are the messengers that messed up your life. You should not have been listening to them. You should not have been clicking on their videos. And I want to even mention their names. But if I mention their names, they're going to get more attention. I don't want them to get more attention. No. I want them to just wither and be forgotten. I want the good folks to get the attention. But good folks are not sexy. Good people are not sexy. In this time, look who the people are sexy. Doggy, are you kidding me? Doggy. The man can't even wear a proper blazer. Doggy is sexy. Doggy have young teenage girls fantasizing over him. The man who said he has a clitoris in his asshole. That guy, or G-spot, or whatever they call it. Azruddin Muhammad. That guy, they think is sexy. Listen, the problem with Guyana, as of now, is what we keep seeing making the headlines. The people who are trending, they're the problem with Guyana. Guyanese problem are those people. That's Guyanese problem. And the fact that I think in the previous Irfan Ali administration, I think he was very soft and compromising on crime. He's a part of the problem. The fact that all they do, Vice President Jagdeo, you're one of them too. All they do, they're back and forth with these low-life influencers, these dunces, back and forth with them, and they're not focusing on what's important in the media. You are part of the problem too, Vice President. The emotions that you invest, the time and effort that you invest to address those lowlifes, to deal with questions from these uneducated, uncivilized, inexperienced so-called reporters, to waste your breath talking about those things. That's why you're part of the problem. That's Guyana's problem. We're sucked into a period now where intelligence matters no more. It's the populist agenda. It's what sounds good, what can trend, what can get the young people to click on. That seems to be the thing now. And what is it that the young people are clicking on? What are they sharing? Violence, attempted murder, man beats woman, man rapes woman. That's what they're sharing. That's what they're waiting on social media to get. They want to have these confrontations. They want these so-called dunces to attack each other, cuss each other out, threaten each other, and they are hoping, they're keeping their fingers crossed that one of them are dumb enough to go through with the threat. Therein we have this Lola lady who almost lost her life violently, brutally, by the hand of a fucking low-life scum. Just because of some back and forth, allegedly, back and forth with this one sharing this one's kid and making a comment on Facebook, and this one sharing stupid stuff. Stupid stuff. Nonsense. These women have nothing to do. Absolutely nothing to do. And the men they attract, you make my job harder. If what I'm hearing, what I'm reading, if any of that has any truth to it, the official police report will come out. But this man that turned himself in, if he has something to do, they would not have put a wanted bulletin out if they didn't have concrete evidence that he was directly responsible in some way for the near-death experience of that Lola woman. They would not have pursued him so passionately, so aggressively. But this is the thing. This is a man who was sanctioned by the US for drugs and all kinds of stuff. Already a known criminal. Already a scum, a lowlife, a pissant. Already. What do you expect from people like that? When somebody can commit those amount of moral, social, economic, political crimes that they can be designated by the United States, labeled, cursed, sanctioned, society should have isolated those individuals, isolated them. You elected one. What's the difference with this guy who is fingered in the almost murder of a Guyanese woman against Azriddin Mohammed? Both sanctioned. Sanction is sanction. The level of their crimes required the sanction. What's the difference? The only difference is that you idiots elected Azriddin Mohammed, almost president, almost. That's the difference. You see what the sanctioned people do? What they're accused of doing? What they are accused of doing? Plot to kill people. Am I saying that all the criminals and murderers were sanctioned? By society they were. By society they were. Because if you can be that callous, that evil, to want to murder someone, it meant that you already would have been an outcast. Society would have already cast you out. Cast you out. So this guy who was fingered and gave himself up, there is a part of me that's disappointed. There is a part of me that is disappointed that he gave himself up with his lawyer, that fucking coward. Let me tell you why I'm disappointed. Because I meant what I said yesterday. If you involve yourself in a plot to kill somebody else, that you hire a gun or you yourself pull the trigger, then you deserve to die. I meant that. So the fact that he gave himself up, it meant the cops can't lose their dogs on him and chase him down and shoot him. He would still live and get feeding from the legal system. The prison system will take care of him, would feed him, would clothe him, and keep him safe. The prison system will keep him safe from other prisoners who want to deal with him. He'll be protected in prison. But that woman near death experience, if she had died as a result of him, if he is the one responsible, attempting to murder her, actually did it, then what is your justification for putting him in prison for 20 years, 30 years? What's your justification? He killed somebody, right? Why should his life be spared? And the reasons, the alleged reasons behind him is not established yet. I'm saying alleged reason behind him because people can lie. People can lie. He can go and give a whole story, a whole long story, lies. The lawyers can lie for them. That's why Nigel Hughes didn't get one vote because the Guyanese are tired of these lawyers that just lie and lie and lie and lie to get these criminals free or reduced sentence. But what is his reason? She disrespected his son by putting him on Facebook. How can someone get pictures of your kids if you didn't first upload it? You have to share your own personal details on Facebook or the internet for other people to have access to it. This is not a case, or when people talk about these things, it's not as if their homes were broken into, and the thief steals their telephone or their album, the photo album, and then they take the pictures and they upload it and put all kinds of stuff. No. When people get access to your information, it's because you put it out there. And as long as you put it out there, it's free for the internet to use for whatever purpose. You put it out there. So why would you want to kill somebody because they use your kid's picture in some kind of malicious way, of insultive way? You first put your child at risk by exposing their pictures on social media. You did. And this is not unique to this situation. Women always do this nonsense. Women, you fuckers are always doing it. You just make a baby. The child is not even conscious that it's in the world. But you slip. Look at my cutie. You cutie, cutie, cutie. Some of you post your kids even naked. You're fucking stupid. You are dumb. Listen, you women who do it, you're stupid. You are stupid and irresponsible. When I used to post my children, they were grown up. They were grown up that they could have done it themselves. They already passed that stage where they are immune. But you just get a baby. Your kids are not even, and you're posting them on Facebook. You think it's sexy. You think it's cute. Who gives a shit if you got a kid? Who gives a shit? Who cares? Who cares? And especially when your kid may have a better physical appearance than somebody else's kid, you are harboring negative energy towards your child. How do you think energy spreads? Energy spread because people contemplate evil. They think evil against you. And when they think it, they project that. Energy comes by way of waves, brain waves. They project it. If you understand telepathy, you know what telepathy is, right? Telepathy is energy, brain waves, frequencies. If you have negative thoughts towards your spouse, that spouse will know. You don't have to tell them. The thoughts that you are emitting, the receiver, the spouse who receives it, would receive it based on the way they feel. And they would have this nervousness. They would feel uneasy. They don't know that you are having these negative thoughts about them, but they just know that they don't feel good about you. And when you have your kids and you're posting them on social media, posting them, if people's children are not in a better situation than your kids, if your kids are wearing better clothing, eating better, they're going everywhere, and you are flaunting that on social media, What you think your best friend will do? What you think your enemies will do? They would harbor negative energy and thoughts towards your child, your children. They would wish your children suffer because to them you are showing the fuck off. Keep your business your business. You do not need to share your private pictures. Your children, don't do it. Don't share it on social media. Social media don't give a fuck. Nobody cares about your life. Nobody cares how smart your kid is. Nobody cares how talented your kids are. Nobody cares. The only people that cares is you, the father, the grandmother, the grandfather, not even your cousins, because they're jealous of you too. Your aunts are jealous because their kids are not as good as your kid. Keep it to yourself. Stop sharing your private pictures. Consider your children like your pussy. If you're gonna take a pic, well, some of you do that, you idiots. Some of you do it. But consider your children your pussy because that's where they came out of. If you are uncomfortable sitting down on a chair and you are, let the camera sheet, or you're walking around naked, if you are uncomfortable with that, then the same energy you should have when it comes to your children. Be uncomfortable with sharing pictures or videos about your kids on social media. Be uncomfortable with it. Protect them. Protect their identity. People must not know your kids are your kids. If you're in a public, if you're a public life, whatever, then that's a different thing. But stop this shit. However, I'm saying that against the backdrop that if all this thing that happened around this Lola person has to do with women and kids or whatever it is, even so, if this man, the sanctioned man who gave himself up, if he is behind it, if he pulled the trigger, if he paid whoever, and this is linked to some issue with his woman and him should go to jail. They both should go to jail. And the justice system in Guyana needs to be reformed. You need to be reformed. Don't let these lawyers hold the justice system at ransom. That everything, if they can burn the country down, they're fighting for their clients to get bail. There should be a constitutional clause that certain kinds of crime, regardless, is not bailable offenses. That should be a constitutional text, not a law you can work around. The same way I have said before in the past that the government should get rid of the office of the prime minister. I've said it before. If you heard it, it came from me. I pushed for that. The office of the prime minister, it's useless. It's powerless, it's useless, it's a waste of taxpayers' money because you have to get the prime minister, you got to get his team, his wife, his staff. It's a waste of money. Remove it. Therein, I said, I read something somewhere, and the president confirmed it when he said, sometimes I think he's talking to me. As per Constitution, the Constitution makes room to have a prime minister, a vice president, and a president. After he said it's a constitutional thing, I thought, okay. Then on Constitution, that stupid thing. On Constitution, that. I don't see the justification for a vice president and a prime minister. What? The vice president is the vice president of the government, and the prime minister is the prime minister for the country. In the place where the president becomes incapacitated and must demit office for whatever reason, who takes over? Who assumes that role? The prime minister or the vice president? When the president is out on presidential duties and he's out of the jurisdiction, who performs the duties as the acting president? The prime minister or the vice president? If you tell me it's the prime minister, then I am stupid. Then I'm dumb. Then I thought that I'm wrong. I have to go and check back my do an IQ test. I'm the dumb one. If I'm to believe that when the president is on official business out of the boundaries of Guyana, who assumes the role as acting president? The prime minister or the vice president? If it is by constitution the prime minister, then what's the justification of a vice president? Why do you need a vice president if that's all he is? If it is the vice president who assumes the role as president in the absence of the president, then what is the point of a prime minister? What, you always have to have somebody there to hold that portfolio? That's it? The prime minister's role is just that? If the president and vice president is out, he's still prime minister? Get rid of it. All right? Get rid of the prime minister's function. Close it down. Well, you already swore the guy in, so you can't do that now. But pass the law to get rid of it. It's useless. Then I feel that the governments will not do that because they're playing politics with the people. That's the problem with Guyana. These men. Here's how they're playing politics with the people. Because if it's the PNC in government, the prime minister will be an what? Indo-Guyanese. Always be an Indo-Guyanese. When the PNC would assume, because the last time was an Indo-Guyanese, right? But who would the vice president be? Indo-Guyanese too? Or black? With the PNC, the president will be black, the vice president will be black, but the prime minister is Indo-Guyanese. With the PPP, the president is Indo-Guyanese, the vice president is Indo-Guyanese, but the prime minister is Afro-Guyanese. What kind of game are you guys playing? You always have to have that unofficial position to appease that section of the society who actually lost the election. Or you think, so they feel as though they're a part of the whole business. No, they're no part of the business. There are no powers to the prime minister, none. Influence, maybe. Powers, none. There are no powers. Get rid of the office of the prime minister. And if you want to show that you are bipartisan when it comes to the politics and you are governing for all the people, then when you have an Indo-Guyanese president, have a black vice president. If you have a black president, have an Indo-Guyanese vice president. That's how you show the people that you're not bullshitting them. You're not playing a game with them. The prime minister is waste time. Is fucking useless. I'm repeating that again. I said it before. I'm saying it again. Get rid of it. Now you have the majority of the parliament. Make it a law. Revise the constitution. Revise it. And I'm sure if you threw this out to the Guyanese public, you want to do a referendum, you threw it out, and you make all these points. Should we get rid of the office of the prime minister? Trust me. If not 100%, 90% will say yes. Hell yeah. Get rid of it. Guyana as well. Keep the vice president and the president. Prime minister, okay, you can get rid of that. We can't afford it. We don't have the money to maintain that. All three. It's better you create another ministry Instead of the prime minister, you create a ministry to deal with, you have home affairs, internal affairs. Internal affairs, they go ahead, it's like the FBI. Make sense with it. Now, fellas, I'm kind of like you. I'm a man, and I can be a chauvinist too. I can be arrogant and like a man's job is this and a man's job is that, and I can be that too. But we have to face reality now, and the reality is we are not living in the 50s anymore, where women didn't vote, where opportunities were not extended to women. We are not living there now. We are in 2025. 2025. So while the richest man or the richest person in the world might be a man, more women are millionaires than men. More women than men. Yeah. So this is not a man's world anymore. It's not. The Democrats in America lost the election because women voted for Trump. In Guyana, President Irfan Ali, the PPPC secured that massive victory, not because of men. Men are small. I mean, come on, men are the minority. We know that. Come on, man. It's no debate. Men are a small part of society in numbers, in influence, small part. It's the women who voted largely for the PPP. Black women, Indo-Guyanese women, Chinese women. Women did it. Amerindian women. It's the women who made your power second term possible, not men. President Ali, not men. And women listen to strong men. You think those idiots who come on social media pretending to be influencers and they're talking, you think women listen to them? You think they can order women to do anything? Women don't have any kind of look up to these guys. They're turned off by those men. Those men can't influence women. Women wouldn't listen to them. Women listen to real men, straight, real men, men who mean what they say and say what they mean. Women listen to men like that. So, yes, a lot of the women who voted largely and massively for the PPP this time around, they listened to me. I told them to do it. They went out because I tell them to go out. And they voted. So I'm saying now, all the things I'm saying from this point is because I want you to repay them. I want the PPP government to repay, to compensate, to make sure your programs, your policies, and whatever you do reflect the fact that you are compensating the women of Guyana for the victory that they delivered to you on such a massive scale. Men didn't do it, but men always enjoy the spoils. Men are always the one on the receiving end. You would think that God created men to be givers. To be givers. We give to women. But when it comes to politics, no, we're not givers, we receive. Women give us, we receive. And for us to give them back, we got to get some pussy. That's what politics does. I'm saying enough of that shit. That's what I'm saying. Now, again, the three most powerful, influential position in the government, the president, the vice president, and the prime minister. For now, prime minister, let's give them that for now. Who do you see occupied? Who do you see occupied? Men. Men. And the only enjoyment women get from that is that the women are the spouses of these men. That's how women benefit. That they're married to these men, these three men, Jagdeo, Ali, and this other guy, Phillips, they have their wives. So indirectly, well, you know their benefit. Bullshit. That should not be occupied by three men, those positions. We voted for President Ali. We didn't vote for the vice president. We didn't vote for the prime minister. We vote for the president. Okay? If Jagdeo was on the ticket as a presidential candidate, or Mark Phillips was on the ticket as a presidential candidate, you would not have gotten the massive win that you got. That's 100%. You wouldn't have. So the people voted for President Ali. And the people who voted for President Ali largely were women. How are you going to repay those women? You already swore in three men. We voted for you, but you swore in Jagdeo, Vice President, and Mark Phillips, Prime Minister. There are no women there. The three top powerful positions are men. I need to repeat this. I need to emphasize this. If women did not vote for the PPP, Jagdeo would not be vice president, and Mark Phillips would not be prime minister, and Ali, you would not be president. So this credit is not because you look good. This credit is because the women voted for you. And the least that could have done is make one of those positions. Yeah, you had it advertised that it's these three men, Mark Phillips, it was on the campaign trail, but that was not the issue. People didn't bother with Mark Phillips. He didn't determine who comes out to vote. It was not on him. Black people didn't vote for you because of Mark Phillips. I guarantee you that. The Afro-Guyanese did not vote for the PPP because of Mark Phillips. He's a rubber stamp just like Sam Hines. Where is Sam Hines now? He's what? Somewhere? Just rubber stamps. The people who would have influenced the votes would be Jagdeo and Ali. But under the circumstances where the massive win was delivered, it was because of President Ali, not Vice President Jagdeo. Vice President Jagdeo just kept the base for what it was. But the extra votes is not Vice President. You should have given that position, even if it's a prime minister position, to a woman, a Guyanese woman. And if you want to appease the blacks, an Afro-Guyanese woman should have gotten that position. A young, attractive Afro-Guyanese woman. You should have done that. Yeah, what? Why didn't I say these things before? I didn't want to distract the voters. I didn't want to bring this up and make an issue out of it, and it could have cost the PPP votes. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do anything that could have interfered with the massive victory. This is why a lot of these points, I didn't say them then, because I had it in my mind. I've said it before elections, that you should close down the prime minister's office. I've said it. But the elections thing, I was excited. I wanted the 40 seats. I wanted to show that, hey, I was kind of into thing. I didn't want anything to mess with that. So I ignored all the bad ministers, all the stuff that I should have been talking about. I said, no, let's get them to win first. And from day one, after they win, from day one, I'm going to start pointing stuff out. Because the president has to put his cabinet together. Even if he had in mind, or they already had a list of people that want to assume certain ministry, they would have done that too. They would have, okay, these are our candidates, these are this. Yeah, they would have done all of that. Now I'm saying, if your cabinet does not have 70% female ministers, you have betrayed the women in Guyana. I'm speaking of ministers, not permanent secretaries or directors. I'm speaking of political appointees. If your cabinet, President Ali, does not reflect the women constituents, constituency of the PPP and the victory, it's a betrayal to the Guyanese women. The cabinet should have 70% female ministers. 70%. And women are more than men, so you can't see, you can't find women. Guyanese women are smarter than Guyanese men. They are more professional. They're more career people. Some are lazy because of the men, like the former minister of social services. You can get better, but you should let it reflect that. And in the future, by the next election, I said I would not support, but I put it on hold. I'll put that say on hold. Because a lot of people reached out to me and they're like, that's okay. For now, I'll put that on hold. I'll see what happens in the future. I'm not going to say that now. But before the next election, you should pass all those necessary reform to get rid of the office of the prime minister. You already have president and vice president. That's enough. Make the government smaller. Big governments is where corruption occurs. That's when you can't keep track of all the things that are happening. You have a small government. You can monitor them. You can spy on them. You can keep record. You can keep a track and keep an eye on them. And it is a small government. Big governments, corruption, problems. Reduce the government. If you had 20 ministries, get rid of 5. Bring it down to 15. Make it smaller. So all that money you would have budgeted for minister this or minister that, the minister, his wife, his children, his cousin, his brother, his niece, his side chick, the other side chick, the chick from the threesome, it's money. If you get rid of 5 ministries, that's that's hundreds of millions of Ghana dollars that can go to cash grants. You can increase the cash grant for the women who voted for you. Give them more. And incentives. The baby stuff is good. I'm beginning to like that idea. If you give more to children, it's less pressure on men to give child support. Less pressure. So men would make more babies. That's what the country needs. The country needs more citizens. But if the women are not getting, first of all, the men are a bunch of losers. I say men, I'm including myself because I got a lot of kids I don't take care of. So let me get that out of the way. Don't go saying stuff that, you, Dr. Prasad or Dr. Love, you're talking as if you're better. No, I'm not better. I'm not better. I'm telling you, I'm not better. Okay? I did a lot of shit when I was younger. Made a lot of kids. Didn't take care of most of them. So yes, I know. That's why I'm saying now, if the government gave more incentives, financial incentives to mothers, parents, single parents, one, it can keep the man in the home because he's like, okay, I don't have to pressure myself so much because the government is giving these help. Then they can make more children. They can raise more children. And more children means The country has more people. You have more human capital. You have more workforce. But you can't punish these women. They're going to stay on the pill. They're going to stay on the pill. And after a while, when they're 30 plus, their womb is dried up from the pill. They can't produce anything. Catch them when they're young. They make babies, but you have to compensate the women. And they'll keep voting for you because women like babies. Women want children. But all these deadbeat dads, like myself, who just make babies and don't take care of them, if the women realize that this is what we have to deal with, what you think? They will not want to make any baby. Therein, you will have a case like Greece and Europe and Japan, where the population is aging, nobody's getting pregnant, nobody's delivering. So yes, do that. Now I want to focus a bit more on this criminal activity, this crime situation there. What's done is done. You voted for Ajudin. What's done is done. He will be, or they will be, the worst opposition party in Guyana's history, the worst. I can predict that. I can foretell. There'll be a waste of time. Useless. Because Ajudin Mohammed's eyes were on the prize, the presidency. He wanted to be where Ali was last Sunday. He wanted to stand there, That's what he wanted. He didn't cater for opposition leader. If Ajudin Mohammed had any idea, if the people who used him told him that, hey, there is a chance that you may not get the presidency, if they had told him that and convinced him that he would lose, he would say, fuck it, then I'm done. I don't want to waste my time. The man thinks that he is privileged, and if he wants something, and that's because of his father. His father raised him like that, to think that everything people has belongs to him. And whenever he's ready to be president, he should be president. That's his father's fault. So because he came up now and surrounded himself with these blacks that are sliming and telling him what he wants to hear and build him up. And that's something you black women have to stop doing that. You have to stop lying to men. You have this thing of making men feel that they have the biggest dick. Oh my gosh, they make you come like multiple times. Stop it. Because when you do that, and you play these men and you trick them and you think, oh my gosh, you are so sexy. Oh, your penis, it's hurting, please, please. And you know very well, it's none of that. You build that man up. So when he gets your phone and he reads some text, or somebody tells him that you are fucking somebody else, you devastate the man. You say, what? This bitch tells me I have the biggest dick, I'm good, I'm great, I'm a sex god, and now she's cheating? Then she lied to me, man. She lied. He gets angry, he gets aggressive, and stop it. The same thing you did to Ajudin Muhammad. You lied to the guy. You built him up. You tell him that, don't worry. Look at what the people say. 80% of Guyana says you'll be president. Ali can't beat you. Ali is this. You're the guy. Oh, Ajudin, you're Mr. Right. Oh my gosh, you're what Guyana was waiting for. You lied to the guy. And this is especially to black women. Black women, you lied to Ajudin. You got to stop it. Now the man is depressed as fuck. He didn't settle for that. He doesn't want to be opposition leader. He knows he can't do anything there. He knows that's a useless, dumb position. He's like, first of all, the man don't need the money. He don't need that 1 point something. If he is paying his staff. Look at how ridiculous this sounds. Listen to how stupid this sounds. From information that I came across, one of his stoppers, like this, let's say his secretary of the party, general secretary, The billionaire, his business is paying his general secretary for the party 2 million per month. Okay? Just to keep record of whatever. And he is going to be the opposition leader, and he will earn 1 million, what's it, 5 or 6? 1,700,000 Ghana dollars as opposition leader. And the general secretary for his party earns 2 million. And the country is paying him 1 million. You see how stupid that sounds? He has no power. Plus, look at the money he's going to earn. The man wasn't interested in that. If he doesn't show up at the parliament, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if he's never there. He'll Skype. He will stay from his yacht and Skype. Tell him, hey, put a screen there. While he's fishing or boating, you Skype and deal with this. Yeah. But to say he's going to the parliament to make a fool of himself for 1 million plus, when he's paying his staff 2 million plus, that's what you did to the billionaire. Black women, you did that. He's angry with you. You didn't deliver the victory you promised him. You promised him he'd be president. Guyana didn't. You did. Now you piss him off. You see nothing more. You hear nothing from Ashridin. Nothing. He is cold, quiet. Why? You have to stop this. You couldn't be honest enough to tell Aubrey Norton to back off. You told Aubrey Norton to back off with your actions. If you did to Aubrey what you did to Ashridin, Aubrey Norton probably would have quit, and somebody else more desirable would have been on the presidential candidate list of the PNC, and maybe they would have been restored as opposition. But no, you didn't bother with Aubrey. You didn't save Aubrey from this embarrassment. You created embarrassment for the new kid. That's not nice. You have to stop this. Afro-Guyanese women, stop this. You see what happened recently? This idiot's girlfriend or wife or whoever maybe lied to him too and pushed him over the edge for him to want to kill another black woman. You see what I'm talking about? You see my point? You gotta stop this. Now, President Ali, I'm asking you, whoever you are going to choose to be the Home Affairs Minister, please make sure the person has the mandate to get rid of crime and criminal. We need to have capital punishment back. We need to have a case where there is no bail for violent crime, for robbery under arms, for looting, no bail. They need to be clear on that. Looting, no bail. Illegal protest, no bail. Robbery under arms, no bail. Murder, capital punishment. And especially if these acts are committed against our women, the case should not be prolonged for months or years. It should be quick and over with. When these acts of violence are committed against our women and our children, within a week or 2 weeks, it should be finished with. Sentence these men, put them on death row, and get it over with. I want to bring to your attention, last week or 2 weeks ago, in the United States of America, a white woman, young, beautiful white woman, was stabbed to death in a train, in a public train, where lots of people were sitting, by a Rastafarian black man. And this Rasta man This Rastafarian man was convicted 13 times, was in prison, charged 13 times, yet he was released to finish the job. He's a known career criminal. That white woman, young Ukrainian white woman, and she was a refugee. She left a war zone country to come to the America where she thinks she might be safe, only to lose her life by the hands of a black thug who murdered her with a knife. Imagine the pain he inflicted. Several stabs. She died right there in the train, bled to death. And there were people around who had no idea. You want to know why? Because they were busy on their fucking phones. Unfortunately, she herself had her earpiece and she was busy on her phone. Didn't pay attention to her environment. If she had looked and saw a nigger at the back, Rastafarian, that looks like a demon, she wouldn't have sat next to him. She wouldn't have. But she, her head down, you know, the women, they do that, right? They're crossing the road and they're no left, no right. They just assume that everybody else will stop when they see them walking. They're with their children on the road, one hand, they're on the phone. That's the generation now. That cost a white woman her life recently in America, where she's supposed to be safe, by a black man. Rastafarian black man. Stabbed her to death. Then he got up, walked calmly, blood all over, and still people didn't notice that's what happened because they were busy on their phones. I said this before. And the same thing, it's similar case in America. This man was arrested so many times. Every time he gets bail, lawyer, bail, lawyer, bail. Now they're claiming he has mental issue. Yeah, mental issue. In Guyana, how many times we had criminal activities, crime committed by repeat offenders, by persons who were convicted, went to prison, come out, did the same thing, and murdered people. How many times haven't that happened? They get a few years, they go inside, they get hardened, they learn new tricks, they come out, do it again. What happened to first, second, and third offense? What happened to this is a warning? If you do it again, it's life in prison. What happened to that? What happened to all those things? The prison system is supposed to be a place where criminals have to live permanently. That's where that should be the social hell. The prison system should be the social hell for criminals. You can never get out. That's the whole point of hell. Hell is the place where you go, you can't get out. It's eternal. The prison should be a place where the criminals go to retire and they die there. You don't bring them back out because when they go into prison, they come out, they're contaminated, they come out with stain, with diseases, with mixed up identities. They go in straight, they come out as a homosexual or bisexual. They bring that toxicity back into a pure society. What you think you'll get? They're going to contaminate other people. They're going to spread that disease. So when people are so brazen enough to commit crime, to break the law, to affect social order, and they get convicted and they're sent to prison, let them stay there. They want to be away. They want to be locked. Leave them there. Why are you bringing them out? Leave them there. That's what the whole prison system is for. You never free them. Never. You will see how quick crimes will become zero. Leave them there. All these criminals getting second chances, fucking second chance, second chance, second chances. The last situation there with this attempted murder, the justice system need to sentence that man to death. Give him the death penalty. If you can't give him the death penalty, he should have life without possibility of parole. His partner, if the woman is involved or whoever, my whole thing is, I ain't into semantics. I don't have time with a reason for this or reason for that or no fucking justification. I don't have time for that. What I am saying is, if you are so stupid to want to take a weapon and pursue someone with the intent to create bodily harm or to kill them, you should be killed or you should have life in prison. There should be no justification. Be it you go into somebody's home to steal, and in the process of you want to rob the person, you shoot them and kill them, and then say it was a mistake, it was an accident. No, you should be accidentally killed also by the law. The law should accidentally kill you. We're not talking about you drive your car and some crazy person runs in front of your car and you hit them with your car. That's not a crime. That's an accident. But if you are drunk, you drink, you're pissing drunk, and you get behind the wheel of the car and you drive the car knowing that you are drunk and you kill people, yes, you should get life in prison. You should get life in prison. But if you take a weapon, want to rob, steal, mock somebody, kidnap somebody, whatever it is, and you want to take their life, your life must also be taken. All the parties involved in that conspiracy to kill, to hurt, to harm, to rob, to steal, to create whatever chaos in a calm, beautiful society as Guyana, those people should suffer the consequences massively. Put a Home Affairs minister who is a psycho, a nutcase, who just want to kill criminals. That's the minister you want. Okay? Then he is going to appoint crime chief and police officers who are of a similar mentality, killing criminals. That's what you need to kill the criminals who are killing people. And you have my blessing. And folks, listen, you honestly think, some of you followed me for years, you know I'm consistent. You honestly think a man like Dr. Love Prasad, a man like me, you think the government wants any associations with me? You honestly think they're going to make me Home Affairs Minister? You think they'll do that? You think they want anything to do with me in public? No, Ali is smarter than that. Jagdio, they would disacknowledge. They were like, oh no, I don't know, bro. They will get as far as possible from me. Because any associations with me in public, breaking news, the Ali government is associated with a known radical, a known inciter of, they wouldn't do that. So I appreciate all your efforts and your wishes and stuff, but don't worry with that. The government of Guyana will not publicly associate themselves, endorse, or speak of me. It is not good for politics. So that is why I am directly fighting for you, the people, not the government. You, the people, have no problem with associations with me because you want the things I'm talking about. You want to be safe. You want them criminals to die. You want them to leave your daughters and your sons alone. You want to walk free with your jewelry. You want to eat free, sleep. You want that. I want that for you. The government has to play politics because of all of the complications. If by some miracle, sometime in the future, I become your Minister of Home Affairs, and the Constitution gives me the power and the right to effect the change I see necessary without any president over my head saying, oh, Minister, you can't do that, or Minister, you can't. If I have the freedom, leverage, and the freedom to effect change, to introduce policies, to do what I think I need to do to keep the Guyanese people safe without no politician telling me shit or no president telling me, man, you're going to cost me votes. Man, I have to recall you, man. You this, with all that, I can assure you the first 6 months, every criminal, known and unknown, will disappear. The first 6 months. Oh, and let them try. Let them try to think they can come and want to assassinate the minister because he wants to get them. Let them try it. Let them try. Because that's what they do, right? If you are a strict person and you're firm and you want to get rid of crime, the criminals target you. Yeah, they want to get your head as minister. Oh, yeah, we're going to get him. Oh, let them fucking try. That will justify and get the public behind the minister that he wants to get rid of crime, he wants to stop the criminals, and the criminals want him dead. So the public now is going to rally behind the minister. And faster, you'll get the criminals. Let them try that shit. Unfortunately, in this administration of President Ali, I would not be your minister, nor have nothing to do with the Home Affairs Ministry or the government. Not this time. I'm sorry to report to you. Unfortunately not. So we have to do what we have to do to keep ourselves safe. Go get a gun. Illegal firearm. Don't be a nutcase and threatening people. Go get a legal firearm to protect yourself. In the meantime, disassociate yourself from people and crime and live within your family circle. Because people are evil. Trust no one. Everybody wants your neck. Keep away, live isolated, do your business, get back to your home. Protect your home at any means necessary. By any means necessary, protect your family. Until next time, this is Dr. Love Prasad saying, remember, I'm calling on you to support. Give your love gift, send your love gift, because since I would not be getting any government's appointment, I don't need it. I'm just being funny. I have a sense of humor sometimes. But this is serious. All the kind-hearted people, you reach out, you can't send messages here on YouTube, so you have to contact me. You see my videos, you will see the numbers there. You can add that number, or if you're on TikTok, add the number, text me, or send an app and say, hey, Doc, you know what? I like what you do. I'm not rich, but I want to support you regularly, monthly, whatever. This is what I can do. It will be welcomed and appreciated. Until then, I'll see you again next time right here on Dr. Love Prasad's Uncensored Guyana. I still want to know who the ministers would be in the next cabinet. I'm waiting for the official list. Then I'll go through these people. But like I said, in the meantime, I need to see 70% of the ministers female. I don't care if they're black or Indian or Chinese or whoever. Women are women. I need to see 70% of the cabinet ministers for this new Ali administration, females, 30% male. Reflect the populace. Reflect the voting. 70% voted women and 30% men. Don't give the men more attention. You already have 3 at the top. Let the rest be women. Because 2030 is coming. Okay. Let's leave some for another time. Bye now.